live across the country, tackling the topics everyone is talking about online. Share, engage, and interact. This is Newsfeed Now.
Good morning and welcome to Newsfeed Now on this Thursday. I'm Ashley King. Today's top trending stories across the country include a bill reintroduced that will give reparations for African Americans, a brother who drowned while saving his sister from a frozen pond, a Florida restaurant under controversy for its sign about face masks, and a teacher's life-saving gift to one of her students. We have all of that and much more. But first, we got to start with this crazy winter weather. Nearly 490,000 Texas households are without power. Texas is the only state with its own power grid, and the company that controls 90% of the state's power is struggling to turn the lights back on because there's just simply not enough power. Many now wondering how the largest energy producing state in the country is failing in freezing temperatures. Anna Warnicki is in Washington with more.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the administration stands ready to help.
FEMA has supplied generators to Texas and is preparing to move diesel into the state to ensure the continued availability of backup power, which of course is a major issue on the ground.
But Wes Reeves with Xcel Energy says there's only so much the federal government can do to get the lights back on because most of Texas runs on its own power grid.
They're pretty much an island.
Reeves' company operates in the Texas Panhandle and connects to the grid outside the rest of Texas. The other 90% of the state's electricity is controlled by the organization ERCOT and can't be helped by surrounding states.
We can't move power from here in a big way into the Texas grid, nor can they for us.
The origins of the independent Texas power grid date back more than 80 years, when power companies agreed not to spread outside of the state to avoid federal regulation. In August, Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz mocked California for not having reliable electricity. On Tuesday, he tweeted, "I got no defense. A blizzard strikes Texas and our state shuts down. Not good." But other Texans, like Rick Perry, the former Secretary of Energy for the Trump administration, defended Texas's isolated power grid, saying technology, not regulation, is how Texas can ensure its grid can weather the next storm. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
In the midst of all this winter weather, one Tennessee family is dealing with tragedy. A 10-year-old boy drowned Sunday morning after falling through an icy pond at his home. His 6-year-old sister also fell through the ice but was rescued and is in the hospital. As Janae Lewis reports, this tragedy underscores how quickly children can become victims in the frigid cold.
It's a low probability event with, unfortunately, a high consequence. And our hearts go out to the family right now.
Brent Perkins with the Shelby County Fire Department says the tragedy Sunday morning at a house on Brunswick Road, where 2 children fell through ice on a pond, shows how in frigid weather, looks can be deceiving.
So the bottom line is that the bodies of water down here normally don't freeze with enough thickness to support a person on it. They can be very dangerous.
First responders from Shelby County and Millington answered the call Sunday morning after it was reported a 10-year-old boy and his 6-year-old sister had fallen through the ice on a pond near their house. The 10-year-old boy drowned despite efforts of Millington firefighters who launched this inflatable boat, donned dry suits, and searched the freezing water, but couldn't save that boy in time.
The victim will go into the water and their body is completely assaulted by what's happening. It's so cold that breathing is next to impossible.
Perkins says it's important to remember how quickly the cold weather can turn deadly on water or land. And even a snowball fight in your front yard can be dangerous for youngsters if they don't dress warmly and avoid prolonged time in the elements.
They've gone inside twice. They have gone inside twice, gotten warm, and we go inside and come back out about 15 minutes.
She knows it could only take a few moments for fun in the snow to become a life and death situation.
It's very important. It could cost you your kid's life. It's very important.
Janae Lewis, WREG News Channel 3.
Such a sad story there. Melissa Moon spoke with the children's pastor who said the 10-year-old boy who died did not hesitate to go into that water to save his sister after she fell through the frozen pond. Melissa joins us now. And Melissa, first of all, how is the little girl doing this morning?
Well, this happened on Sunday, and by Tuesday we were told that the little girl was taken off a ventilator, was breathing on her own, and was talking to her parents, her pastor, saying that her test looked good and she was doing well. So that is the good news in all of this. And as you said, that little boy, he lost his life, but he's being hailed a hero because he jumped in that water to try to save his sister the best that he could.
Wow. And the pastor there said that the 10-year-old boy was saving his sister. How did they actually determine that that's what happened?
Well, the two kids, the 10-year-old Benjamin Luckett and his 6-year-old sister Abigail Luckett, and another brother, a 12-year-old brother. They have 3 older brothers. One of them was near the pond. They were at a pond that was frozen, and they were told to stay away from it. It's near their home. And we understand that they were playing there, and at some point, little 6-year-old Abigail fell through the ice, and that's when Benjamin jumped in the water. And then the older boy ran to the house to get the father, his parents. The father came back to the lake, or the pond rather, and he got the little girl out, but he was not able to get Benjamin out. Of course, emergency crews, firefighters came there, were able to get Benjamin out. Both children rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately, little Benjamin did not survive his injuries.
Wow. So can you tell us about any warnings that officials are saying after this tragedy?
Well, you know, and we also had, this happened about 25 miles outside of Memphis, another town, Germantown near Memphis. We had another incident where some kids fell through a lake. They are okay, but the sheriff's office, since this accident, has put out a warning reminding people that you may look like there's thick ice on a lake or a pond or a swimming pool, but it's actually a very thin layer that cannot support someone's weight. So they are cautioning everyone to stay off those lakes and ponds because we just don't get those cold temperatures like they do way up north.
Yeah, wow, those lakes can definitely be deceiving right now. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Melissa. Now to Capitol Hill, where House lawmakers are taking a closer look at the idea of reparations for African Americans. They've reintroduced a bill to study the effects of slavery and develop solutions to bridge the economic, educational, and health disparities between descendants of slaves and white Americans. Raquel Martin has more.
For the second time in 2 years, Tuesday, House Democrats discussed calls for reparations to African Americans.
The federal government must account for its ongoing role in perpetuating, supporting, and upholding white supremacy.
Missouri Democratic Congresswoman Cori Bush says for generations, the country has systematically disenfranchised African American families.
When white soldiers came back from fighting abroad, they were given housing preferences and education subsidies. My grandfathers, Ulysses and Clifton Blakeney, were denied those benefits.
So it is long overdue.
Kathy Masaoka says descendants of slaves deserve the same healing as Japanese Americans who were granted reparations after being forced into internment camps.
This is a chance for many Black voices to be heard and for the Black community to express what kind of reparations it is owed.
The current bill would only create a federal commission to study reparations, but so far has no Republican support.
I can't imagine a more divisive, polarizing, or unjust measure.
California Congressman Tom McClintock said it would be unfair to punish white Americans today for their ancestors' mistakes. And Herschel Walker, an athlete and Trump supporter, says reparations are counterproductive and promote separation.
Who is Black? What percentage of Black must you be to receive reparation?
Wednesday, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said President Biden supports the commission idea, but stopped short of backing the bill.
It's working its way through Congress.
In Washington, Raquel Martin.
And Democrats are also introducing a plan to forgive up to $50,000 in student loan debt. It's a move Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says will substantially help African Americans and could help close the wage gap. President Biden continues to say he supports $10,000 student loan debt forgiveness instead. Well, no mask, no problem. At one Florida restaurant, as Melissa Marino explains, it's a policy that is getting a lot of attention and concern.
The owner here at Becky Jack's Food Shack, he wants customers to know that it is not required to wear a mask for staff or customers.
Tucked away in Weeki Wachee is a small food shack called Becky Jack's. It's a popular spot for residents and visitors. But it's not just the food grabbing everyone's attention lately.
We did a post just trying to be proactive, letting everybody know what our mask requirement is or isn't here at Becky Jack's, because some people were coming in were surprised that we weren't wearing masks.
Co-owner Jesse Fox says he wants customers to know before they visit, and word is catching on. This post on Becky Jack's Facebook page is now going viral. It says, "Face diapers not required. Everyone is welcome." It's been shared hundreds of times and commented on by thousands.
We're getting a ton of feedback from it, both positive and negative.
It's just very stressful, it's just very and disrespectful.
Lori Carroll is in town visiting, but she says she won't be going to any restaurants not requiring a mask.
I feel like I'm out of state almost. That's how I feel, because the whole not wearing the mask thing is absolutely ridiculous.
The owner points out it's not required by the county, and he says he's following the original CDC guidelines that healthy people don't need to wear one.
I don't feel like I am going against the grain. I feel like I'm using common sense.
The CDC leaves decisions about restaurant mask rules to local governments, but the agency classifies outdoor dining as some risk and indoor dining as the highest risk when eating out. Now, the owner tells me if the county would require them to require guests to wear masks, he would follow that rule. In Hernando County, Melissa Marino, 8 on your side.
One hospital in the United Kingdom making international headlines for changing the term breast milk to human milk. It's an effort to be more inclusive to trans and non-binary parents. News Nation's Felicia Bolton has details on the term itself and reaction from some American health experts.
Illinois mother Jill Aspinwall says she wanted to provide the best nutrients possible for her 3 children. But she admits she struggled to breastfeed and was often shamed for doing so.
I've had, dirty looks, I've had comments, but I just, let it roll. I'm feeding my baby and providing the best nutrition possible.
After her first experience with nursing her daughter, she decided to help others. So she opened her own lactation service called After Hours Breastfeeding Support. And now she teaches parents how to naturally feed their child. Recently, Aspinwall implemented terminology changes at her practice.
I think that we can speak to people in general terms until we get to know that client individually, and then when we know what pronouns they'd like to be addressed as, then we can address them as such.
Aspinwall says she started to use the term chest milk or human milk instead of the traditional term as a way to create a more comfortable atmosphere for trans parents and non-binary parents who do not identify with any gender.
We're transitioning now to using chest milk just to be more inclusive of all populations. That term is probably going to be changed in the near future.
Medically, it is possible for trans men and non-binary people to have a baby. Aspinwall says the term chest milk, human milk, and chest feeding make gender minorities feel more comfortable and open to the process.
There's all different types of families, and I think that the most important thing is that we let every type of family know that breast milk is not just for any particular baby. It's for every baby. Every baby needs their mother's breast milk.
But not all organizations or hospitals are following suit. Dr. Cecilia Banga specializes in delivering babies and prenatal care.
This is not really a pervasive topic of discussion here in the United States.
She says breast tissue itself is not specific to one gender.
I think it's important to note that regardless of the origin, it's very important for infants to get milk that comes from humans. So depending on what we want to call it, breast milk, human milk, chest milk, that I think depends on the particular patient and what they're comfortable with. It doesn't change the fact that the milk is coming from a human and that it's coming from breast. If it's coming from a human and it's coming from breast.
The North Carolina doctor says that despite the term, milk itself is an essential necessity to a baby's health.
Breast milk is a huge first step towards a baby developing a strong immune system because it is chock full of multiple nutrients.
Regardless of the terminology, both experts say it's a person's choice to decide what they want to call it.
And both experts went on to say gender inclusion is not exclusion for other patients. They recommended patients tell their doctor or lactation expert which pronouns they prefer and the terms they are most comfortable with as they go through the process. A young girl from Pacific, Missouri just received a new kidney that she's needed since birth. The donor is her pre-K teacher. Jamie Travers has the story.
Kaylee Kulagi is a beautiful little girl born at just 26 weeks.
She was 15.2 ounces and 11.25 inches when she was born. She was in the NICU for 158 days.
Kaylee is a fighter, and now she's an incredible 5-year-old.
If she didn't have any, like these tubes on her or anything, you wouldn't really know anything's wrong with her. She never cries. She's never complains about pain. She's just a happy kid. Like, I couldn't have been any luckier to have her.
Every night, Kaylee's parents set up dialysis, but no more. Her teacher is giving her the ultimate gift.
And we were telling Kaylee, because you were giving her a bath, that you won't have your catheter no more, you won't have to do dialysis no more. It will be a whole new chapter.
Robin Mock met Kaylee in 2019, and her reason for donating is simple.
She was a student at our school, and then she had to receive some home services, so I got to do that. She needed it. I want her to have a normal life and go to school, and this is how we can help her get there.
Both surgeries went well, and the new kidney is working great, but the first 24 hours were incredibly scary and painful for Kaylee and her family.
I had the PICU doctor yesterday say that he can't believe that she just had major surgery less than a week ago, and that she's probably the happiest child in the hospital.
Miss Robin keeps in touch every day as she recovers.
She's incredible. Like, she was offering to do our laundry and take me back and forth. I'm like, you just had major surgery. I was like, you need to go home and rest. I don't know how to thank her, so all I keep on saying is thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And she's like, you don't have to keep on thanking me. And yesterday I was like, yes, I do. I was like, you just gave her an organ.
As for Kaylee, this kidney promises a normal childhood.
Like, she's never had a bath, like a normal bath. She'll be able to swim, maybe experience the ocean. She's going to experience stuff she's never experienced.
I'm Jamie Travers reporting.
Gotta love a little good news to end this Thursday. That's all we have for today on Newsfeed Now. We hope you have a great day. And be sure to tune in same time, same place tomorrow to kickstart your Friday with some top trending stories. Have a good one.